Hello, Namaskaram everyone. This is Suraj from Ajnalens. Glad to host this today's expert session for all you guys. So for today's expert session, we have three guests, namely Mr. Vishal Singh ji, founder of Twin Reality, uh, Akshay Rathore ji, founder and CEO Firebird VR, and Abhijit Patil ji from CEO from Ajnalens. So I would
Namaskaram.
like all you guys to pin these three people so that you guys can tap on their expert advices and collect the words for your further journey and career in this XR domain. So I'll start with the introduction of each panelist. So Vishal Singh ji, founder of Twin Reality, is an electronics and communication engineer. He founded Twin Reality in 2019 with the goal of raising awareness of AR/VR among companies who are looking to connect with their customers in a brand new way. He also has the vision to use AR/VR to improve people's life. With Twin Reality, he has successfully delivered one of the first virtual event 3D based in 2020 for Somnath Temple, which attracted more than 1,000 visitors a day. Welcome, Vishalji. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Suraj, for the great introduction.
So he started working on immersive technology back in 2015. Gamification of solutions in XR domain is his core strength. He has worked on use cases in 9+ industries and delivered close to 50 projects. He provides immersive solutions at different stages with Firebird VR, namely in ideation, rapid prototyping, MVP, GTM, resource management, financial planning, and optimized execution. Currently, they have one approved patent, and also they are working on XR the SaaS product in XR domain in banking and retail, along with Guru VR, an immersive self-learning tool. He is also a former co-president of ARVR Association in Pune. Namaskaram, Akshay ji, and welcome to the session.
Namaskaram, Suraj. Thank you for the introduction. Looking forward for the
Yes, yes. Going ahead, Abhijit Patil is our next panel guest for the panel. Abhijit Patil is a visionary leader with great integrity and boundless energy. He's a mechanical engineer from IIT Bombay. He possesses diverse industry expertise and a passion for driving business growth, market share, and employment opportunities. He has a remarkable track record, having received national level awards and recognitions for innovation, including the prestigious GYTI award from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. With experience in product development and manufacturing for defense and enterprises product, Abhijit ji has strong background in hardware development, supply chain management, finance, fundraising, and operations. His achievements includes leading projects for renowned organizations such as MIT Media Labs, Godrej, and TVS Motors. Abhijit ji is the driving force behind Ajna Lens, where he excels in delivering groundbreaking solutions. He has also been featured in leading newspapers platforms for his exceptional work and contributions to the technology and innovation. Namaskaram, Abhijit ji, and welcome to the expert session.
Namaskaram,
And thank you for
Namaskaram,
sharing
Suraj. Thank you
your
so much for
valuable.
this. Yes, thank you so much for this opportunity.
So,
yes.
first of all, welcome to the session, guys, and we'll start with the very first point of from the fundamental question. We can call it as uh, what were the earliest forms of radar, and how much has been the tech evolved now? This very basic question was to take this entire expert session in the form of a complete loop from where this all XR domain started to where it is going now, and where we all are seeing the future of this XR industry going ahead. You guys being the part of this XR domain and driving this race of XR domain from India to the world. So, firstly, I would like to take this question up from as we are talking about the forms factors which came from ARVR domain. I would like Abhijit Patilji to start his quote on this by stating how he sees the journey back from 2014, where the work of Ajna Lens started, to where it has reached now, and where he look forwards to the upcoming things in this domain. Yes, over to Abhijit ji.
Yes. Thank you, Suraj. I personally experience this journey of hardware development in terms of form factor, as Suraj mentioned, from 2014 to 2023, and I can see a drastic change into the hardware, into the technology of XR. So instead of talking few things, if I have a presentation, I can showcase how exactly XR was there in the past, because it is mentioned into our company presentation. So if I have that, I could able to pull it out 1 second. Then you can actually see the journey of hardware development. Yeah. So I'm sure it is visible, the journey of Ajna lens, and uh, if you see this slide, these are the form factors in the initial days of Ajna lens or any kind of hardware. I'm sure whoever is into the hardware in this panel discussion or in the world, they have this kind of big form factors like on a shoulder mounted devices. Then it came to the form factor where it acquires the full face of human. With lot of wires. Definitely, lot of wires were there. The computing is happening apart from the glasses. Somewhere in the computer or somewhere in the small pocket computer kind of things. Then it slowly got reduced to such as form factors, which is still not logically adaptable. But yeah, it looks good to at least wear kind of devices. And finally, it came to this kind of form factors where Asnalens is recently launched our mixed reality, augmented reality glasses, which is easy to wear, lightest in the world, smallest form factor, or you can see any other glasses like Oculus of the world, Apples of the world. These are the form factors which is came. So I personally experienced a huge shift from the hardware perspective, the form factor, and it is drastically changed. And in future, it will definitely come to the spectacle kind of form factor. Where the computing might happen in that glasses, or it might happen outside glasses, it doesn't matter, but it will be like a very easy to use spectacle glasses, and soon it will also come to the contact lenses kind of form factor. So that is the something I am looking to form factor, you know generation of these glasses.
Yes, very true. So Abhijit ji comes from a background wherein it is a hardware development kind of a thing, where he has seen the journey of where how the chipsets has have traveled and where the form factor has traveled. So you Vishal ji comes from a background wherein the end user kind of a thing. You guys are into the using those tools, those hardwares for delivering the experiences to end customers. So how do you see this journey of form factor being a key tool to access this technology around?
Yeah, so like I want to go back as early as 1968. So when where like the first, I think the headset name is something Sword of Damocles. If you heard that name, yeah. So it's a like basically a big hardware chunk of type of thing, and which is very initial in their stage, and they were just trying to experiment different types of thing, and then they come at like 1980s when we get a first hand glove, yeah, like hardware when, and there's like iPhone HMDs. Initially at that time, I think it is very early stage, and that is why in when previous to like in 1990s, then there's no scope also because the whole ecosystem is not there. But after the like Palmer Lucky, I think he started their Oculus headset, and then it lately taken by Mark Zuckerberg, face Meta by Meta. So after that, then we'll see like a full like hardware acceleration. Okay, and now we are seeing Apple Vision Pro, where like whatever we thought of, it's in their headset. And as a business wise. We really wanted to see this type of headset succeed because as an Arjuna lens, I saw their development also. I saw the news, and so I have like lots of hope in that. We can we in India can also create something like that, which is at a like world stage, and we can also use that in our business, and we can also suggest to our businesses that they can use this type of thing. Like currently we have used Oculus Quest, and their in Oculus Quest 2 we are suggesting right now. Okay, and there they have we have created many industrial application with that. So yeah, it's we wanted to see like lots of more hardware which is easy to use and had lots of capacity. Yeah.
Yes, yes, very true. So, Akshay ji, how you have been having these experiences with different tools coming up with different sensory elements coming along with the these devices as an accessories. What do you see? How you have how what do you what are your thoughts on this entire thing of VR thing or the XR thing which is coming up along with the sensory devices which are there in as a part with it.
Yes, yes. So I just like to talk a little bit about where we are coming from. We have seen like three waves of immersive devices. Okay. 1960 Sensorama. Okay, that was one of the biggest buzz in 1960s before personal computing got popular. It was heavy devices and all. Then there is virtuality in 1991. Again, second wave came in. Then between 2010 and 14, with the likes of Oculus, Sony, we cannot forget the Google Cardboard event, I/O event of 2014. That's when all that started, and that is what inspired me also. Actually, I attended one of the sessions by Abhijit ji, and that's how I got inspired to start my own company in software. So yeah, it's great to share a dice with him today. But talking coming back to how the form factor will change, ultimately this is going to be the mixed reality. Okay. So VR has its own applications. VR is great for learning, gaming. Again, it depends on the user and use cases, right? If we talk about enterprises, they require different kind of hardware. They want something rugged. They want something easy to handle, right? Uh, uh, when it comes to consumer, they want something cheaper. They want something to plug and play and reliable, which goes on for a long time. And I've seen Ajnalan's journey as well. It is quite inspiring. We are looking forward for the 15th August event also. Okay. But ultimately, this is going to be the form factor. Coming to the input devices, hardware devices, uh, we need to have the hand tracking. Uh, Although it doesn't have the from consumer perspective, I feel like hand tracking and some even controllers work because it has that haptic feedback. But at the end, like humans have this natural tendency to move in the open space like they do in the real space, right? So yeah, like hand tracking is important. It depends on ultimately it depends on the use case. Hand tracking is there, controllers, gloves, VR gloves, which Ajna Lens also has. So yeah, like we might. I saw some crazy prototypes with the ring also. Right. Uh, at the end, consumer will decide what they like. Uh, but yeah, like one of the industrial use cases I saw recently, medical devices. They have mimicked entire shape of a medical surgical knife and all that. It is tracked by the controllers, smaller sensors. So use case to use case, it will depend, and consumer will decide at the end. Yes.
True, true, very true. This XR domain space has like raised the boundaries of limitations to a next level wherein any industry wants to adopt it. There is something or some or the other point of way or the accessories which can be generated around, and that can be a part of adoption, XR adoption in various aspects of this industries. So would like to put forth a question in the aspect that what are some of the most innovative use cases you guys have came across till your in your journey till now. So would like to start with Abhijit ji on this front. So what are the innovative use cases you have seen that industries are demanding and which you see over the most what we can say very different kind of or innovative approach kind of a thing which was thought for adoption of XR by the end user customers.
Correct. Correct. So I think you just name it, and almost every industries will get impacted by XR in near future. In the past, also many industries already started adopting the XR in multiple use cases. But the most innovative, why I say innovative is because innovative can be calculated by multiple parameters, ROIs of the world, innovativeness of the world, or creating actual grassroots level impact of the world, but I think the training aspect, the education aspect, or the learning and development aspect has a huge impact. Because why it's a innovative to me? Because if I am from a particular college, I have some different teacher, I have some different trainer. If you are from a particular college or ecosystem, you have a different trainer, you have a different teacher, right? And both will get educated by different aspect, and that will decide our future, how we will react in the future. But because of this technology, uh, base level trainer or base level teacher will be available to everyone in the world, in the immersive world, so that everybody can learn from that best possible trainer. This was never happened before. There is no single university which teaches all the students, or who is training all the professionals, right? But this is the first time happening that everybody can learn from the best possible trainer on the best possible tools from the best possible universities, and that is something innovative to me. Then whoever adapts quickly, they will change their lives accordingly. So this is something is very innovative, because it's actually, as I always think, education can change the world. Education can change the families also, generations also. So this is something is most innovative to me compared to other gamings and entertainment.
Right, extending the question to Vishalji for his inputs on this innovative tech
Yeah.
we are seeing till now.
So agreeing with Abhijit, I am also think that so in the perspective of training, like I am also seeing this. Right now, the main use cases are in this only trainings, mostly trainings, educations, and even the medical trainings also. Okay. So if we see in the medical, like in the education, let's just talk about education. If you see in education, as we know, like when a student started to learn new things, as we said, if you use more senses, you will like you can grasp more things. Okay, and you have like you can your remembering capability is going to increase. And with this XR and VR, AR, so basically, if we integrate it with the education, okay, then the like, when the children start to like know about like Egypt pyramids, okay, and then he can also visualize it. There is going to be a longer impact on their like brain also. They will never forget this type of thing, because currently the education is limited, somewhere limited, but with this XR technology, yeah, we're going to stretch the boundaries. And same as for the I think medical trainings also, such as Abhijit told ki said that ki like now like from all over the world, medical trainees can connect each other, okay, and they can do real time practices on a dummy, on a virtual body, okay. So I think that is like this is the most innovative use cases right now. And and in coming with the AI, we are also adding more use cases to it, okay. Like I think somewhere we have just saw an open BCI research where they can like seeing like they can control the VR thing from their brain. Okay, and so using the brain meters, they can like control some things. So that is very in initial step, but yes, it's going to be lots of new use cases in future also.
Very true, very true. So the developers needs to be a versatile adopters, wherein understanding the technologies and creating the environments, experiences which are related to all these expectations by clients from different sectors, may it be constructions, minings, manufacturing, may it be medical. So the a developer who is coming to this industry needs to be most flexible person to adapt with understanding these technologies and absorption of these techniques around. Yes, over to Akshay ji on putting forward his views in this innovative expectations of tech from different industry of this XR domain.
So, Surajji, one thing is uh, XR technology has no limitations. Anything you can imagine can be converted into an XR experience, whether it is so by far, like I'll just break it down. Like for now, gaming is the biggest adopter of this technology, followed by education and training. Then there is retail, banking, some small adoption is happening everywhere. So as you rightly said, developers or creators who are listening to this, you have to be flexible about learning how things work, because what we are creating here is an alternate reality for the end consumer or our clients or enterprises, right? So we have to understand, like, it has no limitations. We have to be flexible, and yeah, like I'm working. So in 2017, so a little bit about our journey, like when we started in 2015, market was not, it was just new, it was just booming, and there was no clear industry where we can enter. One natural example was real estate, right? So we started with real estate. Then we delivered India's first virtual reality fashion show back in end of 2016, early 2017. Then we created banking application, we created retail solution, education. So it is everywhere. Innovation, like for me personally, again, like education is the most popular thing here, because it impacts people's lives, right? For a country like India, our 65% of our population is still in rural India, right? So I come from a small town called Latur in Maharashtra, right? I had to, after 12th, to pursue higher education, I have to travel outside Latur, go to Mumbai. No complaints. I learned a lot, but there is a lot of financial investment. I was fortunate to afford that, but many people miss out on that, right? Okay, we won't be able to afford. Maybe they don't get the favorite college. Yeah, like that is where we can create the most impact. Till 10th standard, government of India like has a lot of programs where education, basic education is covered. Struggle happens beyond 10th standard. So VR or MR specifically in India will be more impactful in educational industry. And here for creators, there is a challenge. You have to be expert in at least understanding each and every topic which you are creating. Right? So yeah, education.
Yes, very true, very true. You mentioned about the grassroots level impact. Yes, very true. If we talk about, we just go and see the reality on the ground in India and the developing nations around. So, the grassroots level where the skills are developed, may it be ITIs, may it be higher secondary schools, the government bodies who are dealing and managing this in the remote areas are, yes, they are trying to make this literature reach around, but the practical things around this, which contains consumable, which contains the accessories to teach the experiments, the skill, maybe may it be operating the lathe machine, may it be operating the basic tools of fabrication, may it be operating the basic tools in ITIs with painting, welding, etc. So these are the key aspects where the grassroots level impact XR domain is impacting. No wonders on the aspects of the technologies which are already scaled up, may it be in the manufacturing processes, may it be in medical industries. Those industries have already flourished and have came up to a tech standard wherein it is a way higher innovation which is reaching in the standard. But if we talk about the education is not uniform in all the segments of the, may it be country, or may we call it as a globe in developing nations. So that's where XR is playing a major role, wherein Ajna Lens has been successful in training around 42,000 plus students with enabling 350 plus ITIs across India, wherein now it has been enabled that without using the consumables also the students can train and get upskill. So this is the power of XR. which has been a POC kind of a thing. So this kind of POC is both in the grassroots level to raise the human and implement the augmenting human intelligence as a vision to bring up power, and industries who have already reached in the technical journey, technological journey at good level, to make that technological journey accessible to everyone. Wherein if we talk about the high tech experiments or high tech machineries, no one has access directly to them. Wherein XR can provide this access to various students and unskilled laborers, so that they can use these headsets and these technologies to upskill with the machineries, with understanding of operations of those machineries, and get into the domain. Rightly said, I can give put forth an example of mining industry, wherein prior to this, the Indian mining industry, the Rampura Agucha, largest mine of India, used to import mining drivers from African region, wherein just to drive that jumbo drill machine, the drivers used to get a handsome salary of 2 lakhs or some for a month, wherein in India we didn't have drivers in those days. Post this XR technology, it has enabled that the Vedanta is training their own employees and local people from Rajasthan around to get and run this jumbo drill machine. So this is how technology is enabling the grassroots level also to the mid level by generating content requirements. So you guys need to adapt and understand this content requirement of different industries, and keep your general knowledge brushing and keep yourself open for adoption. So this was about the. I guess there was pretty much understanding which was spread by all three panelists on this topic. So moving ahead to adoption of AI, ML, and IoT, how this AI, ML, and IoT can be a supporting tool, and along with XR would be an advantage for the industry for taking the technology to a next level and giving a leap to the industry all along, which wherein all AI, ML would also require understanding of the XR developers from their end for logic understanding to create content around those supportive things. Yes, over to you, Vishalji, on this front, and then we'll move ahead with
Yeah.
other panelists.
Yeah, so for this AI, like I think we're all seeing like many LinkedIn posts right now where we are seeing NPCs trained like with AI, and they are like talking like a real person. So I think one of the most use cases right now with this, we now have an intelligent NPC. Someone in the shop, you can now uh, like initiate a real conversation with them, and they will also answer the same. Okay, so but the use cases of this apart from the game, it is like in training purposes also, because in the HR, like in HR round where you need to someone you need to hire someone. So how will you hire? So you can practice with the NPCs and AI to train yourself first. If I have to take an interview, what are the questions I need to ask them? So for anything, even for you have to lay off. So that for that also you need some training, because this is the most difficult thing in the world to lay off someone. So I think that their AI comes in the picture, and when we like add it in the XR space, then it's like totally blow the mind of everyone. So another thing about the this AI part. We are also doing a project where right now we are using this AI character. Okay, and someone want to ask like a product detail, because we all know कि, so there is no person going to be available for you 24 into 7. Okay, so now AI can help you in that. You can ask them like, and they will like going to be available for you 24 into 7. Okay, and for the machine learning, in the same in the training part, how machine learning and AI, how this come in picture. Suppose you just so you are doing some training, okay, and now with all your data, and so AI can understand that now your difficulty level is a medium right now. So let's give you some questions which is a little bit above from the medium. Okay, so now you do this, and then just that, I think.
like generating
Yeah.
multiple scenarios using the AI and PC characters, which will be giving an experience for the end user, wherein with different aspects how we can react to the scenarios and all. Right.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes. Over to you, Akshayji. How's your what are your thoughts on adoption of this AI, ML, and IoT things along with the XR domain for the end user real life use cases to make it better?
Mm. Yeah, we can't complete the conversation without ChatGPT, large language models, and everything. So recently, Unity launched Moose and Sentius, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure it is Sentius or not, but yeah, Muse is something like ChatGPT integrated in Unity, and it is still in early stages. But now, see, AI, ML, or IoT technology evolution is never a threat for creators. Okay, human intervention is always required. Yes, our job roles might change, but let's say you want to research on how human heart works, right? You can just simply ask. I see it as a productivity tool. Okay, so nothing to be feared about. If you embrace the technology, you can move ahead easily. It is technology is there to ease our work. Okay, and on top of it, human resources are quite uh, important, I would say. Right, it is expensive, not in the sense of salaries. I'm saying with the intellect, humans can process things differently. AI, yes. Sorry to like, maybe I will offend a lot of people, but AI, it is a complex structure of if and not conditions, right? So, but humans can go length and breadth. So, Vishal, you was talking about NPCs, right? So, that's where the redundant tasks of humans can be automated. Receptionist, no offense to anyone, they can go to a better job. But yes, like let's say instructors, information transfer and knowledge transfers are these two different things. Okay, so wherever information transfer is there, uh, AI in the XR domain can be used. Talking about ML, yes, it is just like improving based on the algorithms they are using. One good example is Bhashini, right? From coming from India based on ChatGPT. Local languages, regional languages. So my native language is Marathi, right? I would love to hear someone teaching me in Marathi, complex subjects in Marathi, right? Because that is close to my heart, and I can understand it better. English is not my first language, right? So how teachers can improve based on these AI ML models, that is quite fascinating. Talking about IoT, wow, like there is a lot of things we can do. Uh, it is still early, but let's say the day we wear our glasses and enter into a real world, we wake up, we put on glasses, and that's how our day starts. Right now, it is like with the phones. We wake up, we pick up our phone and check for the notifications and all. So at that time, entire home automation, you can integrate anything, real world, and everything. So, like it is limitless. Yeah. Industrial applications, there are many. Digital twins is a good example. Integration of IoT devices with digital twins and then viewing it in XR, point cloud data uh, coming from somewhere else. Uh, Oil rigs specifically, I would say, heavy machineries. These are few of the examples of IoT in XR. Right? So yeah, I would just.
Yes, yes, very true, very true. So, Abhijit ji, coming from an industry background, seeing lots of machineries working around in different aspect, different ratios, and different terminologies, may it be defense, may it be manufacturing. How do you see this IoT thing will impact this industries around, and what is the key role this IoT things will play wherein XR would also be a part of it, maybe remote assistance, maybe the remote guidance and operational things, maybe handling the emergency situations with the help of this XR domain and the IoT technologies around. So, what do you think how this would be playing its role in the real life industrial scenarios?
Correct, correct. So if you see in the COVID situation, the most of the industries like completely out of the action because they could not able to access most of the machineries. People cannot able to go to the industries, and then we understand the importance of industry 4.0 and digital twin or something like this. So if you see, if you can connect XR to or if you connect XR to all the machineries or all the IoTs of the world into the industries, you can access this industry from anywhere in the world. You can see the performance of that particular machine, you can see the cycle time, you can see the maintenance of any machine, you can see the production of that particular day, you can see who is doing what at that particular time. So it's not only limited to situation like COVID, but on a general term also you can access your plant from anywhere in the world, because when you see about the machine plants or any kind of enterprise, it has a multiple branches, right? Some branches are in India, some branches are outside India. Then it's very difficult to integrate, and the misunderstanding or the miscommunication happens a lot during this, and that's cost more than the production loss. So I think XR and IoT goes hands in hand. That will not only save the lot of cost, but also increase the productivity. And if you can generate the data, that's why as the creators and the consumers are here, lot of scope into the digital twin, remote assistant of any kind of machinery. This is lot of scopes in there into this. If you can go into that particular sector, all the industries need digital twin of their companies. So yeah, I'll say IoTs can definitely go hands in hands with XR.
Very true, very true. So this kind of adoption of the XR domain, may it be IoT, may it be internet, all this thing when it comes around and it talks around the development, it talks around end user use case. There's one thing which comes around and worries this end user is about ethical things. So, what are some of the ethical challenges and concerns that arise with this widespread adoption of XR, and how do we address that? May if we, just as we saw the entire journey of this information technology coming up, similar way the wave of XR would come. So this XR, this information technology also got a big hit from cyber threats. So similar way, how do you guys see this XR domain needs to be ready for this kind of threats and challenges which could be coming around for the developers? I would like to start this thing from Akshayji. Yes, Akshayji, if you can shed light on this thing, how developers need to be ready for this kind of upcoming things around.
See, XR is an extended visual layer, I would say, and we have to take the same precautions we are taking right now. There is nothing in the world which can't be hacked. If you have, right skill sets, you can uh, hack anything, and that is happening throughout the evolution of technology. If something is there, people will try to hamper that system for financial gains or something else, right? uh, Privacy becomes a big issue when it comes to XR, because a lot of things, like when we are on the internet today, uh, a lot of stances from us are not captured. But when we put on an XR headset, you have that eye tracking, you have your heat map generated, you have what options you like, what options you don't like, right? So we have to be concerned more about the privacy, right? Cybersecurity, I would say, like it will be a challenge throughout. Okay, we have to implement better security APIs. We have to adapt better security frameworks. Each company should have at least one cybersecurity expert, and they have to be trained in XR also. For them, also XR industry is quite. Okay? So yeah, like more than cybersecurity, I'm worried about the privacy concerns. Uh, yeah, that only time will tell us how we are moving ahead with it. But some ethical practices should be when you're creating your apps. Do create a so humans have you might have if you are from engineering background, we had a subject called communication skills. There we learned about we have a personal space, we have intrapersonal space, we have common space, right? If we can implement these real life things in the virtual domain also, that would be great. And users should have options to turn on or turn off their heat maps, their tracking, because a lot of large companies will feed off this data on it. That is going to be their revenue generation model. Uh, so yeah, I'm concerned more about privacy.
True, true, very true. So when we talk about multinational monopolies, that's where the controls are lost, and yes, open XR kind of thing and open uh, the openness of this tech thing and a complete community coming around with open architecture kind of thing, which is giving more accessibility to control things is kind of a trend right now, and yes, that will surely help to control this kind of thing. Yes, over to you, Vishalji. On what are your thoughts on this thing? How the developers can be ready for this kind of things and adopt themselves with this thing?
Yeah. So as I was saying, cybersecurity, yes, there is some concerns to that because this thing is now it's stretching very fast, and I think lots of users I think that they are in very vulnerable state in terms of their data and all. Previously, I think in India there are not lots of people who are concerned, but now people are getting awareness of this. Okay, I think one of the way how we can fight this is first if we say yeah, every company now need a cybersecurity expert because that's how we can have some layer of protection for our users. Okay, and because we have worked with some industrial companies, they also want to know ki if you are giving a service, then what type of cybersecurity do you have? So yeah, we need a cybersecurity expert in every company. Okay, and so all we need is to now after for the privacy point of view, we need to increase awareness. The only thing we can do in general people can do right now is they like we can do create a lots of seminar and we can have like provider points see how you can fight with this how whenever you access yeah, like your device, what steps you can do. Like Akshay just said that you need to like off your heat map and all. So yeah, that is very important. We just need to create a more awareness through different programs, maybe that yeah we can do actually. Yeah.
So Abhijit ji, to talking about the open architecture kind of thing, wherein Ajnal is coming up with the device and giving more access to the developers and more control and independency towards the different sensory parts along with the hard headsets which has cameras, mics, control over it, how the data is flowing with the help of security SDKs and all those things. So with this overall vision of giving more control towards developers, how do you see that the end user being industries adopting and accepting this XR thing would be able to understand this thing by wherein the content development companies, maybe independent developers, would be able to explain them this kind of things with wherein the complete relaxation of technology and control over the thing would be given via SDK control and all those things through the hardware. So, what do you think? How these people can be giving out better explanation for adoption for industries in masses?
See, every technology has a two sides of the coin, right? It has a pros and cons of the technology, and it's all about how we use the technology. And as Akshay and Vishal rightly said that privacy is the main concern. The camera on your eyes, and you are just going around capturing other people and capturing yourself space, which can create a lot of privacy issues, And that is why Asnalens takes care of the privacy via his hardware at most we have a lot of features, a lot of things which can take care of the privacy of the user, and that is also encrypted format of the user. As giving is the giving the freedom to creators to more control on the SDKs. They can create features or application as per their need, which cannot only make sure that the privacy of the user will be with them, but also can create the features or the application which can go beyond the cyber security use cases. So yeah, so the lot of freedom is given into the SDK of the our hardware as an XR, which can give benefits to the users or maybe the developer community in that case.
So on the 15th August, we'll be releasing these things.
Yes,
So
I don't want to talk more on that. That is why I want to talk more on 15th of August.
correct.
Yeah,
So 15th of the August, more clarity would be shared around with respect to hardware, with respect to the SDKs, with respect to how, as an Indian community, we will be able to give out better results in XR domain to the world, and how we can make India as a leader, put forth as a leader economy for the XR domain, because this is one of the fundamental technology. And the audience we have, the creators, the Ajna creators which we have right now, we want you guys to be the initial adopters phase around to adopt faster, bring new innovative technologies, bring new innovative use cases with XR domain, and give out to the world with your skill sets which you have adopted right now. So I guess it was a very fruitful session till now. We just have last 10 minutes left for the session. So would like, if any of the audiences have any questions for any of our panelists, you can put forth the questions in the chat box. We'll take the questions. And till the time people put forth their questions, we can have each of our panelists a summarizing comment on this XR domain, where they are seeing this entire thing is going ahead with going ahead for the entire generation, where the XR technology is going ahead, and where they foresee this XR technology would be going. Yes, over
correct.
to you, Akshay ji.
Yes. So I want to talk to the creators first here. Uh, See, as an industry, it is growing. India is in a position where this can become another, XR domain hub. Right now, we are the IT hub of the globe, and we have a industry is settling down now. Like when it comes to from India, Ajna Lens took the difficult task to create indigenous hardware. Right, we have a lot of hopes from you. We have a full support from the developer community here in India. Right now, as XR studios or companies who are building their products in XR domain, they require a lot of creators. Okay, creators. There are two kinds of creators again. One who work on visual elements, one who work on programmatic elements. Right. So if you can learn both of them, you become the ultimate creator. Okay. So I would request creators don't get wowed by just uh, visual elements. Right. There are tools who will give you, oh, okay, I have learned this today. Don't get happy with that only. This is just a beginning. Uh, when we are working in the industry, this even we have learned this way, right? I'm just sharing, like I'm student like you guys, right? So when we started, okay, when we used to work with Unreal Engine or Unity, okay, visual elements we are running, it is showing in the VR headset. We used to get happy, but no, that is just one part of it of learning. You have to be resourceful. You have to cater to the problem statement. Okay, you have to be laser focused on that, acquire these kind of skills where yes, as I said earlier, also ultimate creator would be who understands at least basic programming and visual elements. It will go hand in hand. We look for candidates like that only, like who understand. Game engine is just a tool to create your thing. Dive deeper into it. Uh, be open about understanding, because many times what happens, people coming from, I'm just sharing what problems we face when we hire, right? There are so 3ds Max, Blender, all these tools are there. uh, these artists need to evolve at the level of XR. They need to understand what XR is, how it works, because it is a different dimension added on top of 2D layers, right? So far, they learn, okay, how do we set the frame for 1080p or a 4K display? Here, everything is 360. Wherever you look, you have to fill the frame. How intuitive you can be with that. That is most important. Programming, to focus on programming visual elements like ho macha, right? I would suggest one book, Actionable Gamification. That is something written and being followed by us also now. Actionable Gamification by UK Chow. There are videos also online. You can go through them. And one more thing would be, yeah, creators, if you don't have a headset, get a headset, feel it. Okay, and then try to create the experiences. Yeah, that's it for now. Any questions? I would be happy to answer.
Yes. Abhijit ji, there is a question which I guess you can take this thing better. Wherein Gaurav Roy is asking that as Ajnalens was started 8 years back in India, so to correct it is around 9 years back in India. So they want some tips if they want to start a company in this AR/VR domain, other than technical things, how the financial things you managed in this the entire journey of developing a hardware kind of thing, the research and development you put in, what were the problems you faced, and how this can be tackled around, and what are your tips around it?
Yes, I think definitely Akshay and Vishal will also be. They will also have the face the same problem which we faced. But as a hardware company, it's really difficult in India to start. What I say when I say this, that means from the financial aspect, because you asked the question from the financial aspect. Uh, uh, when we develop any hardware in India, it requires a lot of resources by default compared to the software company or compared to the other companies. But it's all about how you manages the cash flow. So it's not necessary that you require all the cash like giants in the bank account, and then you start the in new product, and then you launch. It's all about how you manages the cash flow initially. When if you want to start any company, it may be a hardware, software, or it may be any into XR. You should think how I manages the initial first few years, because these are the crucial years where the startup will go, or it will crash. In that sense, you have to put your own savings. You have to ask money from your parents and friends and family. Never hesitate to ask money from your parents or your friends and family. They are the right people in the initial phase. Once you kickstart from that, hire few interns, because you may not have the money to hire full-time people at that moment of time. And once you generate the MVP, which is a minimal viable product, try this MVP to your actual customers. That's the mistake people usually do. People, when you develop the MVP, they try internally and they think this is okay. Let's go into the market, put a lot of branding, raise funds, and then fail at that moment. Instead of that, take that MVP, give free trials to your actual customers who will pay you in the future. And if he is ready to pay a single rupee also, or whatever the rupee, that is also define your cost of that particular service or product. And then the confidence will also build the people, that the people can buy your product. And then slowly you can think about raising the funds from the actual investors. In the initial days, nowadays also it's again a difficult to raise fund, because now the winter is coming into the fundraising aspect of it. But if you have a good product, if you have a good clarity, if you have a good team, because investor never think from the product point perspective only. He never think from the business perspective only. Yeah, first he think from the team perspective. If he likes you, then he definitely help you into the business aspect. Nowadays there are many angel platforms where you can easily raise the funds. So I will say financial aspect is something is not that much difficult, though it is very primary, but it's not that much difficult if you have a good product, if you have a good team, and if you have a good product market fit. That means you are solving the right burning problem of the industry. If that is on place, financial aspect is just a secondary. And there are many ups and downs. I think usual startups comes, many times because of the cash crunch only, we used to think that what if we can let's shut down this company because there is no cash, but some or the other way, if you manage properly the cash flow, taking the loan from the people, taking money from the customer in credit, or taking money from the banks, or maybe from the investors or the existing investors, that will survive your your boat to the next level. So yeah, many more incidences, but because of time, I could not able to share a lot of them.
Yes, I guess Satya has some wants to ask some question. Yes, Satya, you can just unmute yourself and go ahead
Yep.
with your question.
Thanks, Suraj, for giving this opportunity. Hey, guys, this is Satya from Learning Pad. I'm co-founder of an a tech startup company. I joined this meeting in between, so I don't have the full context, but I have this question to the CEOs. Like, I'm into AR VR industry, like from the day when HoloLens has been announced. From that time, I'm following up, different hardwares which is happening in the market. I'm following Ajna Lens as well. The one question which pops to my mind is that we have this Geo Glass, for, which they are, giving hype, for quite some time. And I'm started hearing this, Ajna Lens in the recent times. But what the question, what I want to ask is, by when do you guys think, like, our Indian products will get commercialized into, or more affordable, for people to buy?
Yes, would like to start. Maybe Vishal and Akshay can follow. Uh, yeah, so as you rightly said, Jio also announces their glasses way back into their AGM, but still now there is no clarity in the market. We also launch our glasses. Initially, we launch our virtual reality glasses. Then we launch our augmented reality glasses, and we supply to only enterprises and government or defense, not to the consumers. Recently, we launched our mixed reality glasses Ajna XR into CES, Las Vegas, USA. And from 15th of August, Independence Day, we are now actually independent from the foreign glasses, and we it will be available to the masses, consumers, or developer community specifically. Definitely, enterprises and government also can buy. Available to the masses, or available to the public. The another question is when it will be affordable to the consumers or any kind of general public. Is it actually depends on the ecosystem, because if you see initially when smartphones or in general phones launched also in 1996 or 1999 or maybe early 2000, it is only available to the CXOs of the world, and that too at the cost of more than 1 lakh rupees or something like this, so because that time the ecosystem was not developed, but right now the smartphone is available at the cost of around 5,000 also. Good kind of smartphones, 5 to 10,000. So it's just a matter of time. I think the ecosystem will develop, the component ecosystem will develop, the hardware ecosystem is developing a lot, and once the consumer will consume, the scale will also goes, for the manufacturing perspective. And as we are manufacturing in India right now, we can control the cost also compared to that. So I think it's just a matter of 2 years. It will be affordable to most of the Indians, and it will be definitely less than 50,000, 40,000 rupees.
Yes,
Hey,
Vishal,
yep.
you can
Thanks,
speak.
Abhijit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like on that only, like to create a hardware, like it's take lots of research, and like Anjali is doing a great job in that. Because to get into the hardware segment, you need to like to be on another level. Software industry, yeah, you can get into it easily. You can just see like what are the services people are providing. You can just do it on yourself with a team. But to create a hardware, yeah, it's really like, you need to be ready for anything can happen in that. And in like and yes, price point of view, yeah, I think because this is very initial stage in India also. As Geo Glass, we also did take the Geo glasses, and we have no we right now clear when it's going to become and all. So the hardware point of view, I think it will take much more, like as Vijay told, it will take around 2 to 3 years to make the price lower than by 50,000, and then I think it's going to be more affordable. And after like having lots of headset to like lots of people, then we'll see a next boom in this market. Yeah.
Yes, yes, actually, would you like to add your point of view in this, and we can take a closing note on it?
Yes. So when it comes to hardware and indigenous hardware, see whatever Geo and Ajna Lens are doing, they are contributing towards the long-term journey of the India-made hardware. It is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Okay, Indian hardware manufacturing developer ecosystem itself is developed, right? There will be a day where we will start manufacturing chips also, right? I was reading some politician, minister specifically. He was saying in next 10 years, India will be a chip manufacturing hub, So we can't put pressure on the companies who are doing their job right now. Okay, kabhi hardware aega. When we compare Meta and Apple, right? They have so much, legacy behind. These companies are taking upon them to create indigenous hardware. They are delivering it. So I'm hopeful for the hardware ecosystem. There will be, maybe in next 10 years, we will have 10 more companies, right? That is all going to benefit the Indian ecosystem. And maybe, yes, for the globe, maybe we are 6 years away. For consumer, I'm saying. Ajnalans is doing great job in enterprise level, right? I still don't know what is going to happen on 15. I might change my views, but
Yes.
for consumer, it is going to take time from India.
True, true. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you to each one of the panelists. So, I'll just quickly summarize to all the questions which are there in the chat box. Guys, we will not be able to take any more questions as of now. We have already passed 5 p.m. So, to summarize the entire thing, see the most important factor of medical aspect. If we talk about the headsets, the weight of the headsets plays key role, wherein any headset which weighs more than 500 grams will give you nausea, headache, and all those things. The key aspect of hardware development, from our experience of Ajna Lens, I'm commenting on this, that any hardware which weighs more than 500 grams, if you use for more than 15 to 20 minutes, it will give you nausea, headache for the first time usage, and post that your body will adapt, and then you will get used to with all those things. But if we talk about the eyesight thing, so yes, Ajna Lens has already taken care with its initial hardwares from the VR headset. Also, we are providing diopter lenses, wherein the people who are wearing glasses, we can directly set your powers in the diopters and use the headset. So those kind of things, wherever it is possible to maintain the weight of the headsets less than 500 grams, all our hardware weighs less than 100. So our previous virtual reality hardware used to weigh around just 150 grams. If you talk, it was just around 110 grams. Then the current one which would be coming, which would be just around 390 grams. So this is the kind of medical things which are there, which we need to take care around, wherein the CG of the headset needs to be balanced, wherein all the entire weight cannot come in front of the headset. So these kind of precautions, we being a hardware manufacturer, are taking care of, and taking advices from the medical industries also. And yes, there are lots of things, maybe pricing and all those things. So all those things would be revealed on 15th August. So would request each one of you guys to just hold your seats till 15th August, and everything would be there for you. A large kind of innovative aspect would also be launched, which none of the company has launched till date in this XR domain, which will just change the way of experiencing XR in this industry.
Yeah, hi guys. I guess I'm audible.
Yes, clearly.
Yes. So hello everyone. Hi panelists. So I've been listening to all of you and great insights, all of you everyone. And thanks for the insights on this meeting as well. My just question was like, as Mr. Akshay was speaking about the AI models. That's so basically what AI is doing right now is training on the data, right? So coming henceforth the industry will get trained on XR data also. So as a developer, my question is: so how far can we expect? Like as you just said that research industries should go find another job, right? So how come is it with our developers that on no basic level who doesn't know programming as in deep and just knows the basic? So how safe are we as developers? Does if this AI can take over as well for the basic level of environment creation or anything that they deals with extra?
Shall I take that?
Yes, Akshay, you can take it.
Okay. Junaid, thank you for the question. See, it is going to evolve. You have to be ready for the future. It is not going to take, your jobs are going to change. Let's say I encourage my developers. They are good. They have to be good at core skills. Okay, programming. If a programmer knows programming, he won't be feared. If you are good at your thing, he is not going to be replaced. He or she, the person is not going to be replaced. Okay. My developers, to save time, they are using ChatGPT to optimize their code. And that is a smart thing to do. I'm okay with it. Okay. Now, like, I didn't say like completely human touch won't be, humans are not replaceable completely. Okay. I'm just giving one example. Wherever information transfer is there, these areas are going to be affected the most. Okay. Wherever humans have intellect, that is what I was trying to say. Humans have intellect. Problem solving capacity of a human might be totally different. Okay. I don't know about 50 years down the line, but you just work on your skills, and there is plenty of learning tools available. We created our chat gpt integration in just 3 days, looking online. We were so yeah, you just work on your skill sets, be good at it. You don't have to worry about
So though it won't eat your job, your job profile will change because most of the object detection technologies will automatically generate the assets into your into the holographic world, into the XR world. So you have to, your job profile will change. They won't eat your job. Then you need to be more creative to how you can scan all the objects, get all the assets, and then make a environment out of it. Because AI will definitely do that one. The because of the easy object detection, the assets will automatically get generated.
Exactly, my point. That's the basic integration that can be done by AI, given the amount of data, it can make itself learn. So that's what the question. Also, like any programming models or languages that we can uh, uh, ask make ourselves teach. I mean, learn so that we could go hand in hand with the improving models.
So I think like job wise, even if you don't know any language, any programming language, like there are lots of new jobs are creating. You can just wait and see. Like you don't just get overwhelmed with all the data. Just see like what you are good at it. Okay, no need to get into the code directly. Just see first. Like okay, these are the jobs right now. Which is suitable for me, and then then you choose. Yeah.
Okay, correct. Thank you so much for this all this information, Travis. Thank you so much.
Yes, Satya, would you, was there any continuation question with your respect, which you raised the hand for? Hello?
Maybe we can move to the next
Yes.
few hands.
Shashwat, do you have any question with respect to the session?
Yes, sir. Good evening to all.
Yes.
Uh, my suggestion was as we want to get used to the peoples of XR and VR, we can use the religious places for that. The thing is that I belong to Ujjain, where Mahakaleshwar temple is there, and Tech XR company is started to give customers their Basmarti virtual experience out there, and that was a great initiative, which I think which is great thing to peoples to get used to with VR and XR. So we can do this more often with other temples also.
Right, right, very true. Archaeological Survey of India is also looking into this kind of things. They have also started taking actions and releasing funds with respect to this. So government is also positive, very positive on this aspect and taking actions in this. So recently we had a meeting with the director of Archaeological Survey of India also. So a great level of adoption is there, Shashwat, as you rightly mentioned, from the government aspect also, because most of these religious places are under the trusts of government and precisely managed by them, because these are the major points of concern. And yes, there is adoption
See,
of this.
as a creator, this is a good question because there is a demand. As a creator, we need to think this way. See what XR is doing. Just take an example. If you are watching a movie into a theater, and when you watch movie, you will get emotional because of the movie, right? Why it is happening? Of course, the movie has that powerful content which makes you emotional. Also, the lights of the theater is completely blank, and that is why you are completely focused into that movie. Similarly, in XR also, everything is blank. In VR, so you are completely into VR world. In AR also, you are connected to it. So you are completely into the immersive world. That means the focused area of the user is only on your content. See, when I am using my mobile phone also, then that time also I may not be completely immersed. I am also aware about the other thing. But in the XR, I am completely immersed. So as a responsibility of creator, we should be so responsible that what content we are giving, because when I am completely immersed into that content, I am completely focused. That means I am consuming 100% of the content. If it is a good content, that will go completely into my mind, like my meditative mind. If it is a bad content, that will also create a hamper to my mind. So it's a big responsibility to the creators what we want to showcase to the users, because it is directly going into the mind, into the meditative state of the mind. So yeah, this is a good question, and what we create that will only get consumed at the end of the day. So be careful in that case.
Abhijit sir, I also want to get that the other companies also appreciate very much Ajna Lens. That I talked to the TechXR person, the supervisor of them, and he told me that Ajna Lens is doing another level thing in India. Like it's a very big picture
Thank
thing.
you. Thank you,
Yeah, so I
Shashwatji.
just want to appreciate that you are guys are doing very well in your field.
Thank you, Shashwat. Thank you so much.
And we would
Thank you
also
so much.
like to thank each one of the creators to believing in this vision of making India a creator economy, because you guys believed in this vision, and that's where this entire journey has stand up, and the fruits of Ajna are coming up with each one of you been supporting the
Yes.
vision around
So,
the
so,
content
so
development
till
creators.
that time, till if you see the journey of computing from mainframe to desktop to laptops to your mobile phone, we as an Indian is always a consumer. We were never the creators, right? Mobile also, laptop also, all data is going to the giants, and they are using in their way, you know. But this is the first time that we as an Indian community can come together from the hardware, from the application, from the content, from every aspect, and we can be the creators but not the consumers. And our data will be in India only, our data will be with us only, and we can serve at least to 140 crore people, which is the Indians, and beyond that. So this is the first time we can be the creators, not only the consumers.
So I would like to thank each one of you, each one of the panelists. Thank you, Vishalji. Thank you, Akshayji. Thank you, Abhijitji, for your
Thank you
valuable
so much.
time and giving insights to our creators.
Uh, I wish thanks to Suraj and the team, because every Friday they are coming with the new panelists, new sessions for the creators. You are doing fantastic job, guys. Keep it up and keep this ecosystem live.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Akshay. Thank you, Vishal. Nice to meet you.
Thank you,
Pleasure
Abhijit.
here.
Thank you, Akshay.